Hey everybody, this is Josh Beiser from GameWisdom.com. Welcome to the first of several quick videos on the Darkest Dungeon. For those who didn't watch the survival guide, I started a Meet the Class video series, looking at each one of the classes during the early access period. But I stopped it because of the fact that they were still doing major balances and skill changes. Now that the game is at 1.0, I decided it's time to do another run of this. So, we're going to look at each class, break it down for each one of these videos. If there's any other things you would like me to look at or make a quick video on, definitely leave me a comment. Anyway, we are going to start off with the Crusader. He's, of course, one of the first two starting classes you get. Now, for this video series, please keep two things in mind. I'm not going to be talking about quirks, resistances, diseases, anything like that, because those things are random for each class. I'm sorry, random for each character you get. Second, please note that values and skill functionality can always be changed. As we know, Red Hook will be updating the game throughout 2016, so there is a chance that some of these descriptions or values may be different in future versions, and this may not be completely accurate in the future there. Anyway, let's go over this. So, the Crusader is one of the few classes in the game who can reliably tank. He's also a good front range character, has some okay, almost emergency healing skills, and is also one of two characters who's designed to be anti-unholy, which you'll see once we go over his skills. First, Smite, just pure damage, plus 15% against Unholy. Zealous Accusation, decent front range, multi-hit skill there. Stunning Blow, goes out saying it's his ability to stun enemies. Again, if you're going to synergize with classes who can also benefit from that, like the Bounty Hunter, good skill, and of course it's great to take out a heavy guy from the fight for one turn. Bulwark of Faith, very important skill. This is the one that gives him his tanking ability. As you can see, it raises his protection value, which the percent of the protection, the higher it is, the more the damage will resist. And it is possible with high enough protection to reduce an enemy's attack to 0. This can become very important in the later dungeons when enemies are doing a lot more damage. More importantly, it marks him, which means it will make the enemies have a greater chance of targeting him. And because of his higher defense, he should be able to shrug it off pretty easily. Battle Heal. His basic heal, as far as heals go, it's one of the weakest in the game, unfortunately. But it is a heal on an offensive character, so keep that in mind. Holy Lance, one of his stronger attacks, lets him move forward and deal damage to the back row. Again, it's good against Unholy. This can be very useful in the ruins when you're dealing with the guys with the chalices and undead crossbowmen in the back rows. Gives him a chance of dealing with them very easily. Inspiring Cry, basically a stress heal. He does a slight heal as well, but it's more about the stress. Not a awful skill, it's one of the few that heals stress, but there are more powerful ways of doing that. Let's look at his camping skills. Camping is the real reason why I decided to wait to do this video series, because they completely redid the camping mechanic. Before, camping bonuses lasted throughout the whole dungeon. Now they only last for 4 fights. So because of that, they compensate by making them much more powerful. First one is a standard Encourage. Reduces stress. Most classes get this one. Same as Wound Care and Pep Talk. It's these 4 which are unique to the class. And one thing before I go, I just want to double check that just to make sure I am right. No. So, few of these skills, so these 3 are, looks like set. Yeah. So these 3 are always going to be available, while the remaining 4 are unique to the class. So let's get back to it. First, Unshakable Leader, reduces stress damage for 4 combats. Stand Tall, reduces stress and removes mortality debuffs. That's a big deal. The mortality debuffs are what happens if a character hits death's door, and then you recover their health. They'll lose accuracy, damage, and a few other things for the remainder of the dungeon. So this basically counters that. Zealous Speech reduces stress on him and on his companions. Very powerful, but it costs a lot of time. Lastly, Zealous Vigil reduces stress, and if Afflicted reduces stress by 15. Afflicted means, of course, when they hit 100 stress and they will either rise to the occasion or get a negative debuff. More importantly, it prevents nighttime ambush. The ambushes are very powerful, and it leaves you in a state where it could wipe your party if you're not careful or you get unlucky. A lot of classes now get this skill to prevent the nighttime ambush, which can, again, save you and allow you to recover during a camp. So, with that said, let's talk about what makes a class good and bad. Again, it's one of the few classes who can reliably tank, which means you can pair them up with other classes who are weaker, such as the Highwayman, the Arbalist, or the Jester, and he can basically take the damage for them. Being able to raise his protection is very important because of that. Other classes who can act as quasi-tanks usually don't have that benefit, or they don't have that benefit on the same skill that marks them. He is a good front-range character, as you can obviously tell by the bulk of his skills, and he has decent backup healing. The weakness with the Crusader is that his backup heals, again, aren't that good. The other classes who have more reliable and stronger heals, you're going to make more use of. He is also primarily a front-range character, as you can see. His only skill that lets him target the back row puts him out of range to do anything else, which is still good if he gets shuffled around. He does have the alternative to get forward, but again, if he gets knocked out of position, you're going to lose the majority of his abilities. For teaming him up with other classes, again, he's good to protect other low health characters like the Grave Robber, Highwayman, etc. And he makes a good frontliner for just about any situation. Again, he's better in the runes when he's dealing with the undead, but he is one of those classes that if you need a front range character, or I'm sorry, front line character, he pretty much fits the bill 9 times out of 10. If you're going to mess with him trinket wise, he gets a few unique trinkets. Again, I don't want to go too far into trinkets because, one, I don't have them all, and two, they can always be changed. But you're going to want to enhance his protection, his offense. Like, this is a really good one. Plus 5 protection. He loses 1% crit, which sounds bad, but if you're going to play with low light, you will negate that very quickly. And protection is such an awesome stat. For good quirks, Faded is always welcome, as well as the hard skin when it gives him protection. And other than that, just look around for things that will synergize with however you want to build them. Do you want him to do healing? Give him things like, there we go, like the Churgan's Charm. But again, you're going to be using the Crusader for front row attacking and possibly stunning. You could build him to be a backup healer, but it is very risky. You're basically diluting his main abilities on that front. But that is the Crusader. So, be sure to tune in for our next one. We'll look at the Highwayman. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It'll help out a lot. And again, if you have any questions or things you want me to cover, be sure to leave a message. Anyway, that's what I do for this quick video. See you next time.